Welcome back to the deep dive. This is where we take some of the most complex source material out there and really just break it down for you. We give you the core insights fast.
And today, we're diving into a text that, well, it pretty much asks you to rewire your entire understanding of the cosmos.
Yeah, forget what you know about the standard model about galaxies and dark matter for a second. We are about to enter a system where science, scripture, and cosmic structure are all treated as the same thing.
It's an incredible intellectual exercise. It blends so many disciplines together with just breathtaking ambition. We're exploring the cosmology presented by an author named Sonu Kumar.
Who many people know as Legend or the SKR.
Exactly. And we're zooming in on a specific part of his major work, from zero to infinity. We're looking at chapter 3.
Okay, so before we even get into the theory, I think we have to talk about the methodology here, because it feels like that's the engine for this whole thing.
It really is.
Legend isn't just coming at this from, one scientific angle. He calls his method an interdisciplinary approach, and that means he's weaving together, what is it, math, philosophy?
Religion, idioms, physics, numberlariology, cosmology, geography. I mean, it's everything. He's throwing the entire intellectual toolkit at the problem.
The idea being that you can't solve a universal question with just one tool.
Precisely. He sees the universe not as, a bunch of separate fields to study, but as one single problem. And a single problem requires a unified solution.
So he starts with these fundamental human questions, the big ones. He calls them world-demanded questions.
Yes, the questions that sort of nag at the heart of human curiosity. And the chapter we're diving into, chapter 23, is part of a larger section, Unit 2, which is titled The Legend Unique Questions.
So this isn't just him thinking out loud. This is the application phase of his whole philosophy.
It is, and he sets a mission for himself that is, it's actually quite humble when you think about it, but also incredibly profound.
How so?
Well, he knows he's not giving the final, definitive, end-of-story answer. He says very explicitly that he's providing a rough way or big-picture solution.
Like a blueprint, a conceptual framework.
Exactly. It's a foundation that he intends for others to build on. He says for many intelligent persons as scientists, astrology, mathematician, and so on, he's basically throwing down a conceptual gauntlet and saying, here's the framework, now go and fill in the details.
So we're not just looking at a theory. We're looking at the foundational architecture for a whole new way of seeing the universe.
Built by someone using every tool they could find.
And the question that kicks off chapter 23, the one titled Three Worlds in Our Universe, is maybe the most fundamental one of all. Are we alone? Is Earth the only home for humankind and, all living creatures?
The standard answer is usually something like, well, yes, for now, or maybe, but we haven't found anyone else yet.
Right.
Legend's answer is just a bold, unequivocal no.
Okay. No ambiguity there. That really sets the tone. So what's the fundamental assertion he makes right after that?
It's the numerical backbone of his entire cosmology. He states there are a total of 3 worlds.
3 worlds.
Which are divided into 9 parts where living creatures live. And each world is distinct. The creatures are adapted to their habitats. This 3-world, 9-part division is non-negotiable in his system. It's the core rule.
3 worlds, 9 parts. It sounds almost mathematical, like a law of physics. But his proof for it, it doesn't come from a telescope or a particle accelerator.
Not at all. It's rooted in language and scripture.
Yeah.
And this is where we really need to slow down and appreciate that interdisciplinary approach you mentioned. His first piece of evidence is to deconstruct the very word we use for everything, universe.
He literally takes the word apart.
Yep. He uses etymology as a kind of cosmic map. He breaks universe into 2 pieces, uni and verse.
Okay, uni is the easy part. That's one. Unity, singularity.
Right. But his definition of verse, this is what completely transforms the concept of the cosmos.
What's the definition he gives?
He defines verse as one stanza of any poem, song, hymns of any things.
Hold on. So the universe isn't a place, it's a stanza.
Think about what that implies. When you look up at the night sky, you're not seeing random chaos from a big bang. You're not just seeing an explosion of energy. You are witnessing a single, structured, metered composition.
I think I'm following this. If the universe is the only one stanza of poem, song, hymns, and prayer, then the cosmos itself has to be structured. It's intentional. It's governed by a kind of divine rhythm.
Yes. You've just shifted the entire conversation from physical science to spiritual architecture.
Because a poem has rules. A song has a key. It's not random.
It dictates that the system must be perfect, symmetrical, and derived from some ultimate wisdom. And he doesn't just leave us guessing which verse or which poem. He points to a specific Hindi stanza as the central proof, the textual mandate for these three worlds.
Okay, this is critical then. This is the foundation for the whole nine-part structure. We need to really understand what this text says.
Absolutely. This is the key that unlocks everything else. We have to look at the first most important line. Ru IKSD UKS Kam Isa.
And that is, that's the cosmological decree right there.
It is. When you translate it, the message is definitive. Ru IKSD translates to three worlds.
Three worlds.
And UKS Kam Isa means that these worlds are divided into 9 distinct parts.
So it's literally written in the ancient text, 3 worlds, 9 parts.
Exactly. The structure is embedded in the verse. It tells us the universe is tripartite, and each world must contribute 3 parts to get to that total of 9. This 3x3 model isn't something he discovered by observation. It's a divinely ordained fact he's verifying.
That is such a powerful distinction. He didn't invent it. He rediscovered it in the text. But the stanza doesn't stop there, right? The rest of it seems to shift focus.
It does. It goes from the map to the map maker or the guide. This is where the philosophical context becomes essential. The second part of the stanza emphasizes the role of the spiritual teacher, the guru.
What does it say?
It says XQLSCKM plus KUDKCD, which means no one is greater than the guru.
Okay, so a statement of respect.
More than that. The final line explains why. It says DGRTKSUDFJ Ikieltago SQ DSQ DJS Ekise GASS AA. A rough translation is, what the doer, the person acting in the material world, cannot achieve, the guru makes happen.
So this isn't just a dedication. This is the methodological key.
It's the validation. It's telling the reader that this knowledge, this complex cosmology of 3 worlds, isn't something you can figure out through, just physical experiments or observation alone.
You need a guide.
You need the wisdom and enlightenment that only a guru can provide. And this links directly back to the structure of Legend's book, to Unit 0, which is all about self-improvements and mind awareness.
So you have to reach a certain internal state, a kind of transcendence, to even be able to see the cosmic structure he's describing.
The search for the structure of the universe is tied directly to the search for inner wisdom. The map is only readable if you have an enlightened eye. It's a huge piece of context.
And it sets us up perfectly to start looking at how these 3 worlds actually manifest, starting with the one we know, the third world, our home, Earth.
Right. We move from the divine blueprint to the observable reality.
So we're the third world. In this system, how is Earth defined compared to the other 2?
Earth is identified as the world where humans and creatures live together. But there's a very specific qualifier. They exist in small and average size.
Small and average size. That immediately sets us apart. It implies we're in the middle of something.
Exactly. We are the median world in terms of physical stature, positioned between 2 extremes that we're about to get into.
And because that divine verse demands 9 total parts, our one planet, Earth, has to provide 3 of them.
Yes. And we usually think of Earth as one big sphere, right? But Legend treats it as 3 stacked separate habitats.
This is the local observable proof of that tripartite division he talked about. He breaks our world down vertically.
He does. The first of these terrestrial divisions is the sky. In Hindi, VDKKK, this is the aerial domain.
And he defines it by what lives there. It's where birds survive. So that's one of the 9 parts. A space defined by its life.
The second part is the one we're most familiar with. The land, or KJRH. The horizontal world, the surface. This is where humans, dog, cat, horse, and many more survive.
Our visible world, the most populated and diverse, at least in our small to average size range.
And then there's the third division, the world beneath our feet, the subterranean layer. He calls it Ikri.
And this is the domain for creatures like rat, snake, and earthworm.
Right. So right there you have the complete local microcosm, sky, land, and inside Earth. 3 distinct layers on one planet, proving the principle that a single world can be divided into 3 parts based on habitat and the scale of life it supports.
I want to pause on this because this is where the different units of his book really line up beautifully. You've got Unit 0, 1, and 2.
Let's walk through that. Unit 0 provides the fundamental base of foundation. That's the wisdom, the mind awareness you need for real insight.
The guru's wisdom.
Then Unit 1 is the observational unit. That's where you study how different professions in life operate in a real physical world.
And then Unit 2, where we are now, is the unique questions unit. So let's connect them. In Unit 1, you observe a farmer on the land, the Darti. You see a bird in the sky, the Akash.
And maybe you observe an exterminator dealing with rats underground in a Patala. You observe these separate lives in our small and average size world.
And that real-world observation from Unit 1 feeds the big question in Unit 2, how is the world structured? And the insight from Unit 0, the Guru's Wisdom, tells you that these layers you're observing are actually distinct cosmic parts.
Exactly. The observation of a rat in the Patala validates the larger cosmic structure derived from the Guru's wisdom. It shows how your internal enlightenment from Unit 0 lets you correctly interpret your observations from Unit 1 to solve the grand questions in Unit 2.
It's a perfect feedback loop. The structure of his book is a demonstration of his own method. That's actually beautiful symmetry.
It is. But now, to understand the other two worlds, we have to scale up. Massively. We have to move from this kind of geographical observation to a pure cosmological metaphor. And this is where the whole thing gets, well, really cinematic.
You mean the I theory?
We have to recall his theory from an earlier chapter, chapter 19, The Origin of Universe, I theory. This chapter gives us the universal blueprint, the visual metaphor for the whole structure.
And the visualization is it's stunning. Legend says that the shape of the entire universe looks like a human eye with black color in center and white color surrounded it.
So the cosmos is an immense, maybe even sentient organ of vision.
And what's so interesting about an eye is that duality. You need both the black and the white for it to work, the black center and the white field around it.
And he immediately maps that physical duality onto his cosmology, the two extremes.
So let's start with the extreme of purity, the first world, the white world.
It corresponds to the white part of the eye that surrounds the center, the sclera. It's the supportive field, the canvas. And legend explicitly identifies this realm as the heaven of our universe.
A highest realm, the realm of purity, of spiritual attainment.
And the inhabitants are a direct reflection of that purity. They are described as having a white color body with rainbow color eyes.
Okay, we have to stop and visualize this. This is our first truly non-earthly description. If we're going with a movie-style approach, how do we picture this?
Let's really try to build the scene. Imagine a being whose form is pure white. Maybe it's not solid, maybe it's shimmering or translucent, suggesting it's not burdened by dense matter.
And the eyes, not just blue or brown, but rainbow eyes.
And that can't just be for aesthetics. In so many spiritual traditions, a rainbow represents the full spectrum of light, both visible and invisible. It suggests they have multispectral vision. They don't just see what we see, they see all frequencies. They perceive the universe as it truly is.
They're the apex of human evolution then, a complete sensory and spiritual integration. They see all of reality, and it's important that he says only humans live here. It's an exclusive realm.
Correct. The destination for a purified humanity. And, of course, to follow the divine rule, this white world is also divided into 3 distinct parts. That gives us 3 more parts for our total of 9.
Now, the text doesn't say how heaven is divided, does it? Earth was geographical. Sky, land, underground. But if this is a realm of pure spirit, the divisions have to be different. Spiritual, maybe? Or hierarchical?
That's the inference we have to make, based on the context. Since the whole foundation is wisdom and enlightenment, it seems likely the 3 divisions would relate to levels of spiritual advancement, 3 planes of consciousness within heaven.
So you might have ascending levels of enlightenment. The beings in the highest innermost division are closer to the divine source, while those in the outer division are, I don't know, newly arrived, still perfecting their transcendence.
That's a very logical extension. So if you're directing the movie scene of the white world, you're not filming mountains and oceans. You're filming 3 distinct planes of light or vibration, populated by these radiant, rainbow-eyed beings organized by the purity of their consciousness.
That gives us the structure we need. Okay, let's go to the other extreme. The shadow side of the universal eye. The black world.
The second world. This corresponds to the black color in the center of the eye, the pupil, the iris. It's the aperture. It lets light in, but it's defined by its darkness.
And legend is not ambiguous about what this is. He calls it the hell of our universe, the polar opposite of the white world in every way.
And that contrast extends to its inhabitants. Earth has small and average-sized life. The white world has pure human life, the black world. It's home to only creatures with huge or mega-sized body with burning eye.
We have to stop on that phrase, mega-sized body. This is where the scale of this cosmology really hits you. If we're small and average, what does mega mean?
We're talking about beings that could dwarf mountains, maybe even planets, creatures that exist in a realm of incredible density and scale.
And their size seems to be the key differentiator. Maybe that massive physical form is needed to contain the raw power that's suggested by their other feature, the burning eye.
It's a perfect contrast. The rainbow eye of the white world sees everything. It's about multispectral purity and acceptance. The burning eye suggests a singular, intense, consuming focus. It's power without nuance. It's raw force.
It's the visual metaphor for the extremes of existence. The white world is transcendent perception. The black world is immense physicality and singular consuming power.
And, just like the others, the black world is also divided into 3 parts. And that gives us our final 3 parts, completing the cosmic total of 9.
Okay, so once again, we have to infer what those divisions are. If Earth divisions are geographical and the white worlds are spiritual, how is hell divided? Is it by degrees of suffering, or maybe a hierarchy of size?
Given the emphasis on mega size and it being hell, we can probably infer a couple of things. One, the divisions might be based on a hierarchy of chaos, or maybe increasing density and raw power.
So the deeper you go, the bigger and more powerful the creatures get.
Or second, they might represent different categories of these mega creatures. 3 tiers of gigantic burning-eyed entities that maintain some kind of order through sheer force. Whatever the reason, the 3x3 structure has to be maintained.
Okay, let's do a quick recap of the whole cosmology before we move on. We have the first world, the white world, heaven. It's defined by purity, rainbow eyes, and spiritual divisions.
Then the second world, the black world, hell, defined by mega size, burning eyes, and divisions of physical power.
And finally, the third world, Earth, defined by average size, mixed species, and geographical divisions. 3 worlds, each with 3 parts, making 9 total parts in the universe, all confirmed by that sacred stanza.
The internal logic is, it's impeccable. It's an airtight system on its own terms. But this structure leaves one major phenomenon to account for, something that seems to bridge the gap between the 2 lower worlds.
You're talking about aliens.
Exactly, the alien paradox. This is where the idea of extraterrestrial life gets transformed from a scientific mystery into a cosmological necessity.
So where do they fit into the 9 parts? Are they a 10th part? A 4th world?
No, first we have to establish the limits. Legend is very specific about this. He says, in White World, there is no alien survive.
Okay, so that's a hard rule. Heaven, the white world, is exclusively for those rainbow-eyed humans. No matter how advanced aliens are, they can't get in.
They cannot access the highest realm.
Yeah.
But they do survive in the other 2 worlds, the Black World and Earth.
So they're intrinsically tied to the physical realms, whether that physicality is mega, like in the black world, or average, like on Earth.
That's right. Their existence spans the 2 lower worlds, and that positioning immediately tells you they're not a separate world, but maybe entities that travel between or govern the physical realms.
Which sets up their central function in this whole system. They aren't just explorers or tourists. Legend gives them a huge responsibility.
A massive one. They are the guardians and intermediaries. They are explicitly defined as the guardian of Black World and Protector Earth.
Let's break that down. Guardian of the black world. The realm of mega creatures with burning eyes. To be the guardian of that place, that implies an incredible amount of power. They are managing the cosmic hell.
It suggests that hell in this cosmology isn't just a place of random chaos and suffering. It's a necessary but contained extreme of physicality. The aliens are the wardens. They make sure the mega creatures with all their raw power don't disrupt the cosmic balance.
And particularly, they keep them from disrupting our fragile, middle-sized Earth.
Which brings us to their second role, Protector Earth. This clarifies their motive for any interaction with us. Every UFO sighting, every strange encounter in this model is fundamentally benevolent. It's a protection mechanism in action.
So we're not being studied or experimented on, we're being safeguarded by a cosmic force that has its origins in the realm of extreme density.
It completely reframes the narrative of alien contact. But the most fascinating twist, the real mind-bender, is their ultimate motive for watching us, for monitoring human activity on Earth.
This is the part that ties the whole theory together. It's not about our resources, it's not about the black world, it's about communication.
The source states it clearly. Alien community keeps on watching on the Earth human activity because they want to communicate with humans present in White World via Earth humans.
Okay, stop. That is a staggering idea. The aliens, who are powerful enough to be the guardians of cosmic hell, they can't speak directly to heaven.
They can't communicate directly with the White World. They need a relay. And we, the average-sized mixed species people of the third world, we are that relay.
We're the cosmic telephone exchange. We're the switchboard. The aliens are desperate to send a message to the rainbow-eyed humans, but something about them, maybe their connection to the dense, physical black world, prevents them from making a direct call.
And this brings us to the essential question we have to explore. Why? Why do they need us?
Yeah.
If they have the technology to travel between worlds and guard hell, why do they need a conduit of, just regular Earth humans?
It can't be a technological problem. It has to be qualitative,
Yeah,
a difference in nature.
I think so. Let's go back to that philosophical context. Unit Zero is all about mind awareness, self-improvement, the guru's wisdom. What if the white world only communicates on a frequency of pure, enlightened consciousness?
The spiritual frequency.
Exactly. The aliens, for all their power and intelligence, might operate on a highly physical or technological frequency. That's why they can survive in the black world. But that frequency is incompatible with the white world.
And we, Earth humans, are the only ones who can bridge that gap. We live in the physical middle ground. We have the average size and density of the lower worlds. But we also have the potential for spiritual transcendence, the potential to achieve the wisdom a guru talks about.
We are the only species that spans both. We have the spiritual potential needed to reach the white world, but we're grounded in the physical reality of the lower worlds. Our complexity, our mortality, our mix of intellect and emotion must make us the perfect intercosmic transformer.
So if we're directing this movie again, the aliens aren't just watching us for threats. They're waiting. They're scanning us, waiting for a signal. A specific moment of collective human enlightenment that finally opens the channel to the white world.
They are monitoring us, waiting for one of us or a group of us to unlock the cosmic gates for them.
So our ability to achieve that state that legend talks about, that state of zero attraction of the world, that's not just a personal goal. It's the ultimate intercosmic communication technology.
Our spiritual progress is literally what connects heaven to the rest of the physical universe.
That completely reframes our purpose here. We aren't just living and dying on this planet for our own sake. We are the necessary bridge species. We are the key that makes the entire 3x3 cosmological system function.
And it forces us to reconsider what advanced even means. The aliens are technologically advanced. They can travel and guard worlds. But the humans in the white world are spiritually advanced. They've achieved a state of being that's inaccessible even to the guardians themselves.
And we, on Earth, hold the potential to unite both forms of advancement.
This level of detail, it really elevates the whole concept from just a wild theory to a coherent, structured philosophy of existence. Every single piece, the etymology of universe, the sacred verse, the divisions of earth, the symbolism of the rainbow and burning eyes, it all interlocks perfectly.
And it all supports this one massive idea. We are the central communication hub of the cosmos.
And that coherence, that interdisciplinary synthesis, is exactly what Legend was trying to achieve. He built a system where physics and prayer are describing the exact same reality.
Okay, let's just take a moment here to pull everything together, to synthesize what we've covered, and make sure you, the listener, have the complete picture of this incredibly intricate universe.
Yeah, let's boil it down. I think we can break it into 3 defining concepts that really stick with you.
Okay, first up, the universal blueprint. The entire cosmos is built like a human eye. This gives us 3 worlds. The white world, which is heaven, like the sclera of the eye. The black world, hell, which is the pupil. And Earth, which is the middle ground between them.
And that structure isn't random. It's mathematically mandated by a spiritual text that requires the universe to have 9 total parts, so 3 parts for each of those 3 worlds.
Second concept, the inhabitants of extremes. These worlds are defined by who lives there. The white world has these pure spirit humans with rainbow eyes, which symbolizes their ability to perceive all of reality.
The black world has these immense mega creatures with burning eyes, symbolizing raw, concentrated physical power. And Earth is the mixed middle ground, with average-sized and complex beings like us.
And that brings us to the third and maybe most important takeaway, the guardian and the conduit. The aliens, who can't get into the pure white world, act as the guardians of the black world and the protectors of Earth.
And their constant monitoring of our planet isn't an invasion. It's not even simple curiosity. It's a desperate attempt to use us, Earth humans, as the only possible spiritual conduit to send a message to that highest rainbow-eyed realm.
If we tie in that philosophical context one last time, the whole theory seems to suggest that the physical structure of the universe is actually secondary to spiritual attainment. The ultimate goal, the white world, is only accessible through that inner wisdom, the discipline that's outlined in Unit Zero.
Which means our own internal growth is no longer just a personal choice. It's a cosmic responsibility. Our ability to improve our minds is literally what keeps the 3 worlds connected. And it's probably what the aliens are patiently waiting for us to achieve.
And that brings us to our final provocative thought. the one we want to leave you with to mull over.
We've established that these highly advanced alien guardians need us, Earth humans, to contact the pure humans of the white world. We are the unique bridge.
So we have to ask you, if this whole structure of heaven and hell, the pure and the mega, depends on Earth, what is that unique quality we have? Is it just our complexity, the fact that we exist in both the physical and spiritual realms at the same time? Or could it be something much simpler, something tied directly to the dedication Legend writes in his own book?
Just consider this. Legend dedicates his work to his immortal guru, the Lord Shiva, and he emphasizes the philosophical drive to live with zero attraction of the world.
Zero attraction.
Maybe our unique quality isn't our technology or our bodies. Maybe it's simply the potential for transcendence. The ability, despite our average size and our messy existence, to consciously choose to have zero attraction to the material world. And maybe it's that internal shift, that choice, that finally flips the inner cosmic switch the aliens have been waiting for.
A profound thought to end on. It suggests that the most powerful force in this entire 9-part universe isn't a mega creature's burning eye or an alien spacecraft, but the focused purity of an average human mind. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the decoded cosmology of Legend's 3 worlds.
We'll see you next time.